Real Life Street Stars. We have some special guests in the building today, Pastor Omar and Bruce Wayne.
Let's go. Hey.
Now we're in here to discuss a special topic today. A lot of things that people don't know about in the city of the DFW, some things that are going down, and we want to speak on it. Well, I'm gonna let you just introduce it and let everybody know what's going on.
Well, first, thank y'all, man, for being. Letting us
thank you for
come
coming.
On, man. It's our pleasure. We know what this is about, and know that you guys have the ear to the city, man. But as you said, there's a lot of things that go on in the DFW that people may not know. And here's the main thing: there's this idea that violence has become our language, especially with these young brothers who are trying to be stars and really put their lives out there. There's been this rash of violence. You know, we all know what happened to Yella Beezy, Roy Lee, other brothers too before that have a light, but that light can get shut out so quickly by violence. And so what we've decided to do was to bring all of Dallas together, like you brothers, guys who are influencers, male and female, OGs, business leaders, everybody saying come together, one Dallas, and really let's talk about how do we promote never using our influence to hurt, but to push those who are true heroes.
Yeah, I think what you guys are doing is so needed. People tend to give up on the youth, especially the urban youth. So I know you have a urban specialist platform that you guys have.
Yes,
can you kind of go into detail of about what that is?
Oh, sure. Yeah, urban specialists. We've been operating for the last 20 some odd years, and what we do is we go into communities that are violent, and we use influencers to transform those areas. And we have a methodology that we call 3I. But here's the basic idea: is once you get a person to agree that they can live outside of their survival mode, they can live in explosive citizenship, they can be better, not bitter, then they got to figure out what that looks like. So you get people like Bruce, who is an OG, who is the kind of individual that can take his life and his characteristic, and once his character has changed, he can impose his will on an area, and then that area will transform. And so we believe that transformation is possible, redemption is possible. So we go into neighborhoods, schools. We've been all over the nation, man. We've been into every state. Except the Dakotas. We've been to Mexico, we've been to Russia, we've been all around the world training people how to deal with violence. And then we go into our own neighborhoods and say, there's a way that we can transform. So that's what it's called. So you can go to Urban Specialist with an S, Urban Specialist with an S.org, and look at our website, go to our Facebook page, all of that. You can really get up on what we're doing.
Now I'm glad you said something called survival mode, because that's a term that's not usually used, because they don't know the society outside of the urban community. They don't know that most of these children are in survival mode. They're just trying to figure out, most of them don't have places to live, clean clothes. They don't know where the next meal is coming from. So when you're going out speaking to these kids and talking to these people, what's the method of trying to reach somebody who I'm looking at you like you well dressed, you look nice. What can you tell me, unless you come in here to give me something?
Right. Let me jump in right there. I think one of the messages that we kind of let kids know is that we use people that's indigenous to those neighborhoods. One of the things that urban specialists do is we find brothers and sisters who are from the neighborhoods, that most of the kids come from, who they look at as heroes or people that they look up to. And we convince, train those, and inspire those brothers and sisters to be the people who go back into the community, into the neighborhood, and with a message of, no matter what happened, what's going on, we try to give kids and young people an understanding of self-accountability, being able to connect with people who are going places, people that they can inspire to. We try to make that connection. I'll let Bishop add a little bit to it.
Yeah, I mean, Antonio's absolutely right. I'm gonna give you 4 messages that we say all the time. One is, no matter what happens to you, you're responsible for what you do for you. Okay, that's a message that we use. Only inspired people can inspire people. That's another message that we use. That no matter what you're going through, someone went through it before you, so if they made it, you can make it. It's another message that we use. Then here's a big one. We say that if you are in a jungle you may believe that you got to be more animal to survive, but you cannot be more animal than animal. You got to be more human to survive. So we teach you how to bring your spirit up and your brain up, because the strong may rule the weak, but the wise rule them all. See, those are the kind of messages that we give to somebody that's saying, how you going to help me? And then we say, now let me show you an example of what intelligence can do even in a bad environment.
So is it for like let's say somebody wanted to get their kids involved in something like this, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, all you got to go to our website, Urban Specialists, urbanspecialist.org. We have a program. We have the Frederick Douglass Society. We have a new program that we're doing called OGU, which is OG University, which we are so excited about. That's going to be 21 days of explosive citizenship. Dope. Yeah, all of you, every brother's in there, and that's listening, brothers and sisters, got to sign up for that. It's absolutely free, but it'll show you how to use your influence. We call it catalytic change. We are in certain schools, but if you go and we do things, course correction, we do conversations, we figure out ways to go where the culture is. So you can't miss us, because if you missing us, then that means we ain't doing our job.
Yeah.
You know?
And then let me add to that, man. And I want to say this just because me and Bishop, we've been rocking together for almost 20 years. You know, when I came out of prison, before I came out of prison, he was in my neighborhood trying to do a peace treaty and some stuff with gangs. And my cousin them, who he had met, told him, man, if you're going to do something in this neighborhood, you got to see our cousin, which was me. And he was saying he's in prison. And the crazy part, I was in prison at the time working with brothers, Bloods, Crip, Aryan, Mexican Mafia, you know, with this whole idea, because I denounced the gang. You know, I was in gang. I denounced that in prison. But I was in prison, unbeknownst to him, didn't know him, working on how to bring brothers together, because, you know, when I went to prison, one thing I realized that I had been tricked into this whole process. We started the first gang in Blood gang in Dallas, over in East Dallas. And when I got to prison, man, I realized, damn, I lost my life. I'm in prison over this idea. And so I began being real introspective, saying, man, let me figure out a way. And I'll never forget working with these brothers. And while I was working with these brothers, I was in the day room, I looked on TV, and I seen him on the news with my cousin them. And I immediately wrote my cousin them and said, hey, man, connect me to that brother. He on to something. Because I had said in prison that, man, we got to get back out. We got to do something in our neighborhoods to get our young brothers and sisters from, you know, falling in our footsteps. And that's how we kind of connected, you know.
Well, I mean, it was amazing. I was literally telling, I don't know him. They saying to me, bruh, if you're going to do what you're trying to do, the only person that can do that is Kiddo. I said, well, who is Kiddo? He said, that's our cousin. He's a thinker, man. I said, where he at? He said, he in prison. I said, bruh, come on, man. What you want me to do? Go break him out? Yeah. You know, we was in that, you know. And so I said, I'm going on the news anyway. So I'm in the projects, straight up, brought the news out and said, we're going to declare peace right here. And we need brothers. And he looking at, well, it was less than 2 months later. It was God. He was paroled. I go to his house. He in Frost Farms. He got the big cars. He got all the gold. He got, and I go to his house and I ask him a question. I said, how many people that's in your network are able to outthink the things that's trying to lock you up and to kill you? I said, so, bro, if you know that you the one, why don't you use your influence to change lives rather than to only protect your life? Because you got to live in this cocoon, because you know there's so many forces. And so after a while, man, he was the catalyst. So it's just, I've seen it hundreds of times how God will use the ones that you least think are the ones, and God will use them to bring about big change and lasting change. And this is what we call it. We really call it redemption. We really believe in redemption.
That's what's up, man. Right. And so let's speak about this event on November the 24th.
Yes.
What is the name of, as everybody can see?
Yes, One Dallas.
One Dallas.
One Dallas, man. And so November the 24th, everyone is invited. It's absolutely free. Doors open at what, 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock at the Omni downtown on Lamar. It's bringing influencers, OGs, hip-hop influencers, everyone together to have a town hall that says, we believe that as Dallas, we can bring all our brothers and sisters together to say that we want peace at all costs. And so we even bringing some of the mothers of those who have been killed. It's going to be an interesting, interactive conversation. Bebe, K104, Lady J, Gio, Bruce Wayne. It's just so many people, man. The Nation of Islam. It's just so many. Cortez Bryant from Young Money, the president. All of them are coming together. We're all coming together to say there is a way that we can bring peace. But it starts. People think, man, y'all just talking, but peace starts with a conversation, and then we'll have a call to action.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the reason, so we can kind of back up, the reason why we doing this is because I'm quite sure everybody know what happened with the Yellow Bees and the Roy Lee deal, and everybody commented and speculated on that, and so for us and people who are sensible and understand, we get like y'all get how when people go to comment and speculating and commentating on stuff, they can go left and people can die. And so our mission is we want to make sure that no mother has to grieve their son over some foolish mess that could have been controlled, and that we got a responsibility and an obligatory duty to use our platform to speak peace and to speak unity and to speak love to our city, not just our city, but people in general. That's our responsibility. We can't sit back and allow for somebody else to lose their life over something like this. We got to be able to speak it because Dallas in a unique position right now. Dallas in a unique position. It's a lot of people paying attention to Dallas right now. Everywhere we go across the country, they saying what's going on in Dallas. Right. And I think right now more than ever, getting people together, regardless of who you are, what's your background, and say, man, let's figure out how do we support each other, man, because we know, a lot of people, speculate and backbiting and fame hating and all that kind of stuff. It drives our city apart, man. And right now, more than ever, it's a need for us to come together, man. Seriously.
Absolutely. Now, with every righteous cause, there's always going to be opposition.
Exactly.
And I know you brothers know that as well. What is the thing? How do we combat opposition if we're trying to preach a message of peace?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you something. That's a very wise statement, brother. The way you combat it is this: you have to be so committed to the ones you love that you tolerate the ones that hate you.
Amen.
See, you got to be so committed to the ones you love that you say, I understand that it's gonna be people that don't agree, that think we lying, think we playing. See, I'm gonna tell you something. When these brothers said, "Okay, we going on streets," street stars. We understood your influence. See, so it's my role to yield to that and say, I got to figure out how to find common language and common ground because they are the ones who get the ears of the ones I love. So I don't have time to have a person to say, "Well, you're a preacher, man, going on the street." What? I'm saying, no, man. I'm saying, how can you not go on here if you're trying to reach those? See, and you put aside your ego, you put aside your agenda, you stop using your platform to harm, and you say, here we are, we coming for real. And then you got to offer real, tangible solutions. See, after we have these conversations, like I'm gonna give you one solution that we're gonna say. I'm gonna give you all exclusive. Can I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exclusive. Yeah, I'm coming right in. So y'all, only person know that is y'all and everybody who listening with you. Right. Here's an exclusive. This is one of the things we're gonna say. We're gonna ask that every local concert that happens with Hip Hop Dallas and Urban Dallas and everything, there's a fund that is set aside for the children of those who have been killed in these street wars, especially people like Roy Lee's children. The mothers and the victims, they need to be remembered in a tangible way. See, everybody can put their name on a T-shirt, but you have to be able to access where they're going in their future so you won't forget. See, it's easy to forget and just keep moving. When Siobhan Randall was killed, execution style, 13-year-old girl in Oak Cliff, we had a big conversation, but we then did a scholarship fund for her sisters. So they won't forget that life was sacrificed but there has to be something that comes from that. So we're going to do certain things like that, and you'll hear some more of the call to action, but that's one of the things that we're going to ask that Dallas says every time we have a local concert of any type, we want a fund set aside, not managed by us, but managed by whomever, that says every time we want to set aside some things for those young people who really need it.
And I like what you said too. In another interview, he said anybody can ride for the dude, but who gonna ride for the kids? Who gonna ride for the family? See, anybody can ride and say, let me represent this person or that person. Let me go get the T-shirt. This is my dude. Blah blah blah. But who gonna ride for the kids?
Right.
Who gonna make sure his kids her kids straight? See, that's when it's real. You know, when we start having them kind of conversations where we take people where they need to be. We got to take the conversation up higher, because anybody can say, anybody can commentate and say this and offer their opinion. But who gonna do something for the kids? Who gonna make sure that the kids are straight? If we really love the people who we say we love that done passed, who gonna step outside their comfort zone and say, let me make sure this mother has this because she grieving. You know, so that's the kind of stuff that we want to talk about, man. And we got to take people higher with that, man. I appreciate you, good brothers, too.
Oh no, I was gonna say, man, because just this event is buzz. I mean, people are talking about it, and I find it dope that I haven't really seen anything like this. You know, like somebody actually stepped in and said, nah, enough is enough. We got to do something about it, you know? And I respect that on a whole different level, because it has gone too far. I mean, Dallas in general, we've seen a lot of crazy murders, a lot of crazy things happen in the street, you know? So just for those who watch this and feel inspired to want to help out and do something, how can they do something? You know, whether it be through y'all or, you know, just helping out in the community. Like, what are some of the things that you would recommend?
I would recommend three things. One, I want you to come to this event. All right? Don't miss this opportunity, because you'll be around other influencers in other genres. So it may not be urban specialists, it might be this kind of program, it might be political activism, but you'll be around leadership so you can plug in, and that will lead you to number two. Find a passion and get involved with someone who is organizing your passionate efforts. So if you're passionate about schools, if you're passionate about violence, you're passionate about whatever, find some of these organizations and get involved now. And this is gonna sound, and this third one is gonna sound very biased, but I got to, because I'm a pastor. Go to church, man.
Amen.
Find God, because when you have a godless society, it's easy to suspend the rules, man. But when you have a God consciousness, that'll keep you balanced, that'll keep you focused, and it'll give your comeback story a real chance to go all the way. So those are my suggestions.
Yeah, and I would say this: we have a deal that's coming called OGU, which he mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And let me just tell y'all, this is where I was going earlier. I came out of prison, my background the whole 9 yards, right? And we connected, and we've been all the way around the country. And fortunately, you know, we put in the work, we stayed down the whole 9 yards. And here recently, probably a couple years ago, we connected with some people. You know, we connected with some people that gave us the ability to expand the platform, not just here in Dallas, but across the country. But we went into those rooms that we went into saying that brothers and communities, sisters and communities that may have been written off, that may have influence, but they ain't got the purpose. We went to those rooms saying, allow us to introduce you to these brothers. You know, so allow us to give you access to these brothers, because, you know, you may be a multi-millionaire, billionaire businessman, but we have brothers and sisters in the community who has the same kind of skill set, but just need the access. So OGU will birth out of us going around the country saying, how do we find brothers in neighborhood who may have records, who may have gold teeth, cornrows, the whole 9 yards? How do we find purpose and a way for them to get back in society and use their influence for good? That's what OGU. So stay tuned. Coming in January, OGU is going to be all over. You'll see it everywhere, and we need people to get involved with that, man. So all the OGs, the brothers that's in the communities, we got something for you, man.
And sisters.
And sisters. Yeah, and sisters. Got to say the sisters.
Yes, sir.
If they want to, the people that want to reach out to y'all, want to tap in, how would they connect with y'all? Do y'all have social media, any websites that they can tap in and really?
Absolutely. I was about to say OG. Urban Specialists with an S. Go to our Facebook page, Instagram, or our website, Urban Specialists. with an S, or you can call us locally 469-458.
Yes.
3006 469-458-3006.
Yes.
That's our line there.
And personally, and I'm telling you, this is the bishop for the streets, man. I'm telling y'all, go to his Facebook page, Omar, Jahwar. Just like and request and figure out what's going on with him. This the bishop for the street. This is a real bishop. This my brother who been putting it down, been working inside the community for the last 20 years, who give a shirt off his back. The epitome and the example of what bishops and preachers are supposed to be doing. That's why I rock with him. And then for me, my personal page is BRUSEWANE, and you post a lot of stuff on there too.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, Pastor Omar, man, we thank y'all for coming. Urban specialists in the building.
Thank you,
Peace
man.
in the street. That's
Thank
what
you,
we're looking
sir.
for.
Street Star.
If there's anything we could do for y'all, just let us know. Y'all are real life street stars for real.
Real life
Yes,
street
sir.
stars.
Thank
We
you.
rocking.
Yeah.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move it. Hey.